My mama is still in bed, and I love my mama. Yeah, so I'm making a YouTube video. Uh, don't know what about. Probably need editing. Probably a lot of pauses. Um. So my situation at the moment is. Sorry, I keep looking. I have a habit of looking away. Um. It's just checking myself out. It's just. It's just an old habit. It's from the days when like I wasn't very confident at like giving eye contact when making videos. I used to just, yeah. And it's kind of like in the same sort of moment when I would look away before, when I wasn't very confident, is the same sort of moment when I look away now, and I found myself doing it. And then, well, what I do is I just look back, you know. Bit of information for you there. It's um so so just hair on my hand. The way my life is going. I had this moment, right? And it was just a moment where I was holding space for my life. And it was almost like I was looking at my life really hard, except I wasn't. I wasn't dwelling on it. I wasn't worrying about it. I wasn't, you know, there. What was the actual thought that I had? I had a thought, you know, it wasn't a long train of thought. It wasn't a long train of worry. It was just a thought, right? But it was really powerful and it really stayed with me. And it was that I was walking past, I was on the way to the gym, yeah. And there was these kids playing. There's this rec, we call a park a rec, yeah. There was this rec on the way down to the gym, and all these kids was on it, and it was like really good to see all these kids just playing on this rec, because like I've been down there before, and there's been no one on it, you know, just like about 4 kids. And like when I went down there, they were like really like, I felt like that they were being racist, you know, and they didn't want anyone, you know, that's how it felt. It just felt like they were being racist and they wanted me off um their basketball court, you know. Anyway, so it was nice to see all these kids playing, but I thought to myself, I had this moment where I thought, you know, I remembered one time when um I went down to, there's this park, right? And I only went there once, and it's near Oakley Drive. That probably means nothing to nobody, right? And like everyone was hanging out down there, and so I went down there, and I wasn't enjoying myself. And you know, it just came to mind, right? And I thought to myself, you know, how much are these kids, you know, enjoying themselves? How are they in their feelings right now? You know, how are they feeling? Are they really happy, or are they a bit depressed, you know, like I was when I went down Oakley Drive? Um, and I held that the way that I feel, this is then, by the way, but I'll say right now, yeah, the way that I feel right now, um, is really dope, you know. It just kind of like, it just showed me, you know what I mean? It just showed me that like um, I mean, I need to talk about this a little bit in some kind of way. Like, for example, yesterday morning I walked down Fulbridge Road, yeah, because that's what I do when I wake up in the morning, because there's simply nothing else to do. Nowhere's open, etc., etc., right? Not even Morrison's. So I take a walk down Fulbridge Road. It's a nice area and it's a nice walk for about an hour, right? And for about that whole hour or half an hour, I'm not memory central, but like I felt, I remember one of the words, which was hopeless. I felt so hopeless, and it wasn't like a feeling that was depressing me. Well, it was depressing me, yes, but like it kind of wasn't. It wasn't, because I was just. It was the first time really that I can remember where I was holding a negative feeling. I'm sorry the camera's wobbling. It's just the way I'm holding it. I was holding a negative feeling, right, of hopelessness and of this, I can't remember what the other word was, but there was another feeling as well, and it was kind of similar. Um, and I was just feeling it. I was perfectly happy. And I was just feeling it. For like about half an hour or an hour, and I got back, and I'm not actually comfortable with the way this is wobbling. So I got back, and the next thing I remember is I leave to go to Morrison's, right, to do some shopping, and the sun is blazing. It's 8 in the morning, the sun is blazing, and the vibes are just unreal. The feeling of hopelessness, that only lasted like half an hour or an hour. That was my walk down Fulbridge Road. That was the time when I was feeling it. So this feeling of hopelessness, it's not with me anymore. And like, I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling really, really amazing. Oh my God, did I have a good time going to Morrison's that morning? Holy shit, I got a comment off a guy. I can't remember it, to be honest. I was picking my melon, and I picked some more melon with kiwi fruit and strawberries. And it was something like the context was like, how trans people get shot, yeah, and it was that he found me so lovely, so adorable. I can only infer that that's how he was feeling, but that he said shoot him in the context of like, I'm so dope, I'm so dope that like for somebody to do something like that is like there was no negativity in that comment at all. I suppose this is like a good example of nowadays where like people say things that like people are just so open, nothing really is off limits, you know what I mean? But the way he said it was so lovely, and so, I haven't gone insane, don't worry, he did mean it in that way. And it was beautiful, and then there was these two girls at the checkout. I looked at one of these girls, and she looked like a lesbian. She had half her head shaved, and she just looked so fucking amazing, like she's really authentic, like she's always being herself, like I just saw myself in her so fucking hard, and I see this girl, and she's struggling through life, and like I don't know. I can't really remember all the things that happened at Morrison's. It was just comments that I got off people. Because now I'm on clonazepam, 4 milligrams, sort of like take it about 11 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm on clonazepam, and I get these comments, and I can, because, okay, what caused me to take clonazepam was an illness. It was anxiety, which is an illness, right? And it was changing my perception, it was changing my reality, it was changing the way I held what people said. And now I'm on clonazepam, life is so beautiful. I mean, the thing that morning at Morrison's that made it so fucking dope was the comments that I got off people. I mean, fuck me, it was so sweet, so sweet an experience. And like I say, now I'm on clonazepam, I'm more aware, I'm more aware of where a person is coming from when they're saying what they're saying, the true meaning. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I did get pissed off once. This woman said something and she was probably not talking to me. She was probably not talking about me, but I just took it the wrong way. This is on the way down the gym as well. And just walking past the pub. And I took it the wrong way and I said I said something. I can't remember what I said. Oh, you're just drunk, I said. But like, so I'm not gonna paint it out like I don't get triggered, I hold, okay, if I'm to do like a percentage, I'd say it's more likely that she didn't mean anything by that than it is that she did. That's how I hold it. And I got triggered, and well, I didn't get triggered. It didn't. How did that bloke say it? I was down Parker, yeah. And that was a fucked up experience. I'm really fucking pissed off about it. Apparently Muslims are so racist that a trans person can't work at a Muslim centre. Which is bullshit, because when I go in the chemist, they were all Muslim. They are all Muslims. And it may be like a family-run chemist or something, or it may just be like... Anyway, I'll pass on that. Why they're all Muslims, what the reason for that is, I'll pass on that. But like, they were racist to start with. When I got my estrogen, she called me a sinner. He's a sinner. And that's to do with like the Muslim faith, and that's partly why like the bloke at Parker said, like, if you work here, you're gonna get a lot of abuse, and yeah, he was asking me how I'm gonna deal with it, and I says to him, I will say, I will not use the U word, that will be off limits. I will say the I word. I will say, I feel hurt, I feel judged, and I feel hated. If someone is like blatantly like hateful towards me based on my You know what I mean. I don't have to explain it based on the way I live my life. Who I mean, there are lots of layers to it. It's how I live my life. It's who I am. It's, I'm not gonna say the G word. You know, it's the way I present. The way. I mean, a lot of it are changes that I've gone through that just exist, that just are there because of the treatment that I've had. Um, anyway, this video has overrun, um, which is fine because I didn't need to edit it. I've not got any like long pauses in it. Um, I can ring my mama now. And I hope she got answer because I need my mama. You know, yeah, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ring my mama and maybe make another video. Luckily, iMovie is working now. What happened was I had to sign out of my Google account and sign back in, and now it's working. And, I just want to ask myself the question, right? You know how it says like it won't upload more than 15 minutes? Well, maybe that's because it wasn't signed into my account properly. Because, if data is shared between computers, right? The Google computer, the Google supercomputer, the Google computer and my phone, right? My iMovie, data is shared across the internet, right? And if I'm logged into my Google account properly, see, I can make videos. See, I'm not bothered about the time because I can make videos up to 45 minutes long, and I'm just asking myself, can I edit a movie, right, and then upload it if it's, say, for example, like, say it's half an hour long, and, you know, because, like, since I logged out and logged back in to my Google account, I'm unaware now, because of that change, I'm unaware of whether I will get that message that says, you can only make your video is over 15 minutes long, it's blah 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 blah, um fuck you. That was so my reaction because, like, it was so frustrating. I mean, I went on the internet, I changed my camera recording format from it's like one choice is the most compressed data, and the other choice is most compatible format, I changed that. I was like looking all over the internet because, like, so many people were having problems with iMovie, yeah, and like I was just getting all this trash, from all the problems they were having, and I call it trash because none of the solutions to any of these problems was to sign out of Google and sign back in again. What I did was I rang Apple and I got some help, because I've got Apple Care. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.